Okay, so let me first clarify. I I listened to a podcast this morning, and it was all about being fascinating, like how to kind of unlearn being boring. And I was like, whoa, this is a good topic because I really want to. I don't necessarily want to be fascinating, I guess, but I don't want to be boring. And I mean, I guess I do want to be fascinating. Like, who doesn't want to be fascinating? Who doesn't want people to think they're fascinating? But my desire is definitely to be not boring. So how do you unlearn being boring? So I broke that down a little bit, and I was thinking, well, am I boring, or are we boring? At what point in our life do we become boring? Because we weren't born boring. Like, we were all born with a very unique, specific personality. We were born with like fun, everyone oohed and awed over us, and not necessarily to encourage us to go back to that state, because that would be weird. But for us to think, what thing about me is fascinating? Why would you even want to be fascinating? Because it feels good. It feels good to have people want to be around you. It feels good to have people think that you have something like unique and special that only you are. Like, it feels good for people to say you are you, and I like it. So for me, I kind of thought, well, I don't want to be boring, but I like routine. Like, I like predictability. I actually feel safe and secure when I have a daily, plan. When I have you wake up, you work out, I eat, breakfast, I spend time with my kids, I get some work in. To me, that kind of routine feels good. And I thought, ooh, is that boring? Is that bad? I like safety so much that when things get me off track, like when things scare me or when things are off my schedule, I kind of panic. Oh, for example, guys, last night I could kill my husband. Last night, I was walking into the bedroom and my heart is pounding. Listen to this. Nick, you are in trouble. I was walking into the bedroom and I was walking to the bathroom to wash my face, and all of a sudden I heard this devil voice and he goes, "What are you doing?" My husband was hiding in the closet, and he reached his arm out and grabbed me. It was pitch black. All the children were asleep, and I squealed, and I fluttered my feet and ran and dove on the bed and cried. This is a fact. This is the facts. I can't handle it. I can't handle being startled. So, Nick, you're in trouble, and I'm going to get you back. I'm going to get you back. But seriously, that's an example of me needing, predictability. I don't like to be startled. I don't like to be scared. I hate it. And he knows it. But to be unboring, because nobody wants to be boring. That was certainly not boring, so I commend him. But truthfully, I feel like there's a part of every person that is unique. There's a part of every person that is spectacular. And for us to be able to identify it and not let it be covered up by the expectations of the world. So let me ask you a few questions. At what point in your life, or what point in my life, I have to ask myself this, was I told to be vanilla? Was I told to wake up, rise and grind, and be an adult? Did you have a conversation with your parents or with your teachers, or a reality check with yourself maybe during college, that you thought, okay, it's time to grow up now? I wanted to do this as a career, but it looks like that might be too hard, so it's time to grow up and just settle for this. Now, it's not necessarily that if you settled for a certain career, that's bad, as long as you are fueling that uniqueness and that you-ness inside of you. What do I mean by that? When I was in high school, I really enjoyed theater. I loved drama, I loved acting, I loved dancing. I can't sing, so that's unfortunate. But I remember sitting around the dining room table with my family, and my dad was like, "Well, Laura, what kind of things do you feel like you're going to major in college? What do you enjoy?" And I was like, "Dad, I want to major in theater. I want to major in, I would love to be a Broadway star." And my mom, being my mom, was like, "Oh, that's great, Laura. You can do anything you want. You can do anything you put your mind to." And I was like, "Yeah, I can. You're right." And my dad, being the realist he is, thanks, Pops, he goes, "Well, do you have a plan B? Do you have a plan B? If you want to be a Broadway star, let's be real here. What are you going to do? What really are you going to do? And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And what am I going to do, Dad? I'm going to be a Broadway star. So because he told me I couldn't, I was like, bump that. I'm going to show you. Even if I don't like it, I'm going to do it anyways to spite the doubt. Anyways, the point of that was that there was a part of me that wanted to be a Broadway star. Now, did I have the skill set or talent? No, I did not. But why? Why was that in me? Like, when you were a child, what did you want to do? What did you want to be? Did you want to be a veterinarian? Did you want to be a teacher? Did you want to be a Broadway star? Did you want to go and travel the world? Did you want to swim and help dolphins? I don't know. You know. What did you want to be when you grew up? So for me, I thought, well, why did I even want to be a Broadway star? Okay? Not to say that I could not have achieved that if I set my mind to it, but it wasn't necessarily the destination. What that was telling me about myself was that I desired maybe performing. I desired expressing myself in an artistic way like that. I enjoyed learning about a character. I enjoyed expressing that and inducing emotion with people. I enjoyed creating an experience for people. And so on stage, whether it be theater or through dance, I love to dance. I danced for 14 years of my life. And I thought, why do I enjoy that? Why do I love standing on stage? Why do I love public speaking? Why do I love that? And I think it's not necessarily that I have to make my occupation a Broadway star in order to fill all those needs. It's that I need to be aware that that is in me, that God put that in my heart to give. Like, that is a part of me that I'm supposed to use to serve, and it's not by accident. And so if I'm going to smother that and think, you know what, nothing about what I do every single day is helping me uncover that fascination. Nothing about what I do every day is helping me unlearn being boring, because to me, boring would be if I just squash that and I say, you know what, I'm not going to be that. I can't. I'm just going to rise and grind. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to get a paycheck and I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to start all over. I feel bland. I feel like I'm coasting, but I don't really know what else to do in my life because this is what everyone does. False. That is not what everyone else does. And shame on you for thinking that you should be like everyone else, because you are made unique. You are made special, and there's something amazing about you. There's something fascinating about you that you need to let grow, let blossom. So my encouragement to you is that just find your happy, right? Like, what is so awesome about you? There's something amazing about you and unique and special, and it's just the fact that we need to unlearn being bland. We need to unlearn that we have to be coasting through life. There's no such thing as coasting. There's such thing as either moving forward or either moving backwards. So for you in your life right now, is there something that you wanted to do with your life that you told yourself you couldn't, and so you settled for something else? And if that's the case, what kind of things could you do to get back to that excited, fascinating, adventurous, risk-taking mentality? So obviously there's a level of responsibility you can have. It not necessarily means that you can quit your job and go hike, Mount Everest if that was a dream of yours, because we have responsibilities and we have families, we have bills. But I know that you can carve out at least 1 hour a day to feed that passion, to fuel that inept desire in your heart. So for me, making silly videos at 7 a.m. in the morning is just a little, and looking like a crazy person, I'll get better, is a little bit of making me feel like I am using my gifts, or using a talent, or I'm not even, that's weird to say, or it's feeding me to be able to communicate with you how to bring out your best. I really believe that people are beautiful. I believe that we are made unique with a purpose, and it breaks my heart to see anyone think anything less than themselves than awesome, because you are made so amazing and unique, and I love to learn about different stories and strengths, and envy certain strengths. And I'm like, oh, that's amazing. That's so unique. I wish you could elevate that more. Oh my goodness, I see such a bigger picture of what you're capable of. Why don't you see it? So for me, that's how I view the world. That's how I view people. And so to be able to communicate that, to hopefully bring that out in someone, that feeds my cup. So maybe through my desire to be a Broadway star was not necessarily that I was going to move to New York and sing and dance, but that I was going to find a platform, find a way to communicate what I want to share with the world and bring out their best, like to help them bring out their desire and what they want to do in life. You only have one life to live, and we need to be our best. Like, we only have one life to live, and we need to bring our A game to the table, and sometimes that means taking risks, getting a little different, like being a trailblazer, and that's okay. If you want to be a trailblazer, let's link arms and do life together, because I love that. I don't want to be boring. I don't want you to be boring, because you weren't made boring. And so if you feel boring, it's because you learned to be boring. You were fearful in life, and at one point you were told to be boring. Don't be boring. Be awesome. Be colorful. Be you. Find out. And actually, here's a freebie. I've created a worksheet, and it is going to help you walk through what things you would love in life. Like, what would make you not boring? What parts of your life, what personality types, or what hobbies or what adventures have you always dreamed about going after? Fill out this worksheet, and at the end, it's going to give you some tips on how to fuel that, how to feed that, how to even just 1 hour a week go and do something unique to fill that void in your heart if you feel like you are in a boring spot in your life. Okay, so I created that worksheet because I could not explain it thoroughly in this video on this blog, but I wanted to give you an extra level of evaluation for yourself, because again, I'm very passionate about you realizing how special you are and you overcoming fear to bring out your best, for you to bring out your happiness, for you to bring out that umph and that spark and that spunk that was put in you for a reason. You have so much to offer the world, and if you don't do your part in the world, then it's not going to spin the right way. So spin it the right way. Let's all work this life thing together. Anyways, the link for that worksheet is going to be in the blog and in my post. So you guys check that out, and hopefully it helps. Happy Tuesday, guys.